And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. Running very, very late at the moment. Apologies, but we are live. And we've got New Zealand versus an Irish side that has beaten the side, actually. And if we're being honest, against an Irish side who started so well last weekend and then didn't make it count. And they'll be looking to very much make sure that tonight they try and actually go the distance. Because I think a lot of people are saying that they reckon that one test victory in New Zealand would be considered a successful tour, for example. From a South African perspective, we've got Jaco Paper down in the middle, which is going to be quite cool. And yeah, I mean, this starts a long day full and stacked of some pretty awesome rugby, which is going to be a lot of fun. So let's settle in, shall we? Let's settle in. We've got this followed by Australia versus England, which I'm actually very excited for. I think that should be a really good clash. And then our coverage will basically start immediately after that for the Wales versus South Africa test. But until then, we are at the Forsyth Bar Stadium for the second test between Ireland and New Zealand. It will be Ireland getting us underway. And we'll have a look at the sides. Actually, it'll be New Zealand getting us underway. And they do get us underway. They go down the middle of the park. And it's a first touch for Hugo Keenan. And I saw a carry there from I think it's Dan Porter there. No, it's yeah, it's a very nice touch finder there from Jamison Gibson Park. Obviously, like quite a lot of personal stuff involved in this game with the likes of Jamison Gibson Park, James Lowe, Joey Carberry, all New Zealand-born players. It's a very messy line-out, and Cody Taylor's been put under a lot of pressure there from Ireland. Artie Sevilla picks up and goes. Well read, though, by Caelan Doris. As Ireland have pinned New Zealand back towards the 10-metre line. Aaron Smith asks for a couple of blockers before he puts in his up and under. Right, Aaron Smith lifts it high. And Mac Hansen, who's back into the side. It's a very nice touch from him. Had a very, very good season at Connacht, Mac Hansen. Oh, it's a very nice offload. Josh van der Fleer. Quick ball there from Gibson Park to Johnny Sexton. First touch from him. And Ty Burners through. Ty Burners through. He's got some need support. He's taken it himself. It's a good tackle by Barrett. Gibson Park looking for options. And the arm is up from from Jaco Paper as well. Johnny Sexton. Inside ball to Low. Gibson Park, this is really good for mine. Sexton holds the pass to Mac Hansen. Mac Hansen inside. Well, how they managed to keep that inside. That's brilliant play. Mac Hansen sitting at scrum off. Johnny Sexton. Josh van der Fleer. Van der Fleer away from Kane. Gibson Park, this is really good stuff from Sexton to Hugo Keenan. Back inside comes Robbie Henshaw. This is good continuity here from Ireland. Still advantage for them. James Ryan, Johnny Sexton to Mac Hansen. Hansen goes himself. He's eventually brought down by Artie Sevilla. Really good dummy from him. Dummy everyone, including the cameraman. Solid carry there by Ty Byrne. And another advantage. Gibson Park to Sexton. Short. And they're over. Andrew Porter. What a try. Goodness me. I mean, like last week when we saw we saw Ireland starting so well. That was Ireland at its absolute best. And a lot of talk about whether Johnny Sexton should be playing with his concussion issues, but I mean, he's already starting to pull some strings. Initially, the break from Ty Byrne was absolutely brilliant. A couple of really good breaks here, some nice touches there. Really good dummy early on by Mac Hansen. A couple of inside balls there. And then on the angle, I mean, Andrew Porter's a tough man to stop, but you would think that Quinn Tupia has to do better than that. Yeah, and Sexton puts his head down and adds the two extra. So 7 points to 0 after 3 minutes. I wish the box started like I do. The question is though, can they maintain it? Because they had this kind of start last week. Right, so we're gonna be getting a poll going in the comments. And please go and vote. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, if you're new. As I said, Blockbuster Day Rugby ahead. The restart again down the middle. Peter Marnie, they just be a bit of a fumble there from James Ryan, but it's sorry, I haven't typed Bernard as well taken in the end. They've lost safety other 22 though. And Marnie nice little neat step there. And now Lowe's going to bring out that left boot of his. It's a very lethal left boot. Goes almost 22 to 22. Severies comes inside to Bowden Barrett. Bowden Barrett's looking to run. Then puts the kick ahead. Goes straight down the throat of Lowe. And it's a decent touch finder from Lowe. He's found touch at about past the 10-meter line in New Zealand territory. So Ireland at the moment doing absolutely everything right. Who's in the comments here? So, first of all, we had a new member. I don't know if he's still on the stream, but thank you very much, Sean Johnson. Welcome to the Fair Sports Members Club. Alpha Lingen says, go Bok, I mean Ireland. Tamfordberg says, hey, Steve, lovely to see you. Thought on Sexton remaining in the starting lineup. Yeah, as I said, there has been quite a lot of chat about that, given the fact that he did have, or was suspected quite a concussion from last week, and he is somebody who has had concussion issues. A lot of people saying that he shouldn't be playing. But I suppose, there are processes. That's a really good inside ball. That's Geordie Barrett. This is the first time the All Blacks have had any possession whatsoever. Aaron Smith, quick ball to Ioane. That's a really good rip and tackle. And is it for a knock-on? It was good work at the breakdown there. Caelan Dorst over it very quickly. And Jack Paper saying that the rip was okay, but then they lost it forward as he tried to bring it towards the Irish side. Yeah, at the end of the day, I suppose, we're going to kind of have to trust the experts. It's very easy to say that we think that he's pretty concussed and he shouldn't be playing, but if he's medically cleared, I suppose you got to trust the system, don't you? It's a bit of a break in play for the first time. It's been a very hectic start to the match. We'll have our first set piece, scrum set piece. New Zealand quite substantially heavier, but what we have learned, especially as Springbok fans, is that it's very much not about the weight anymore. But I see Hugh's in the comments. Welcome, Hugh. I see Reels here as well. Settling in for a long day of rugby. I don't even have any food lineup. I do have beers for later. Well, that's a pretty poor cast from Fanganuka to Bowden Barrett. Smith goes to his captain, Sam Kane. Very flat pass there from Smith. I think it's Tonga Fast. He's found himself in the center channel there. Geordie Barrett this time, inside ball to Quintupia. Cody Taylor carrying up this time. We're going out wide. There's a lot of space out wide. It's a good tackle by Mac Hansen. Make sure he grabs the arms and all on. As to Bowden Barrett. Bowden Barrett's his brother Geordie. I think it's Cody Taylor on the inside there. Quick ball there for Smith. Oh, what an offload, but good. Well taken by Gary Ringrose. Going back for a penalty for a pullback, which is a really sloppy penalty to give away. So there's a penalty to New Zealand on the 10-meter line. Just like the variation here. Offload there from Geordie Barrett. The variation on their base plate, hitting the third man out on that. Trying to see where the pullback was. Looked a little bit soft. One imagine you're going to go for poles here. What it starts, I'll be SA Brandy at the ready. Yo, let's settle in here. We can talk about Brandy after 12 o'clock. I haven't even had breakfast yet. I have to grab something at half time. The good news is I'm not as hungover as I was a week ago. So we're gonna move today. We're gonna move. ball's been stolen. James Ryan's got up there and stolen the line out. So they decided to go to the line, and James Ryan has intercepted it. Now Jabson Gibson Park's going to try and find some territory. He's got set 22, so he can find touch. Oh dear, that's as they come off Sevi Reese. No, apparently it already gone out before it touched Sevi Reese. So it will be New Zealand on the halfway line. They go short this time. Well, we're trying to get Kote down on the blind side. Scott Barrett, but a penalty here for hands on the ground against New Zealand. So it is a penalty for Ireland. And it's against Dalton Papi. Right, so now I'll have an opportunity to attack New Zealand from the set piece here. Pretty poor penalty to give away, must be said.
10 minutes gone on the second test. Good early score.
Off in front of here, flat there. Oh my! It's Gary Ring. I think it'll be Henshaw. He's knocked it on. Scott Barrett. I mean, Jordy Bowden Barrett rather is sorry, buddy Barrett is cleaning up. It was just initially a very good set move from Ireland before Robbie Henshaw couldn't hold on. And we will go back for knock on after a decent time sit down from Ty Byrne. Yeah, shake of a head there from Robbie Henshaw. He knows that he needs to have done better than that.
But also his ability to be able to kick. So they've got plenty of kicking options there in the Irish team. It's a part of James Lowe at the back, Robbie Henshaw, Matt Henson. Romani down at the moment. A veteran these days. Romani. Must be serious for him to be down. He really is a hard man. He's been strong. And he was a big part of that first time because it stayed on the hand 2 years. LG's been around for a while. His experience is absolutely vital for the Irish side. Brings that clear heart. Oh, well, he'll be very happy that starts the game.
Bit of break and play. A couple of players getting some treatment.
20-minute gap between the 20-minute mark and half time.
Right now, it looks like we are ready to continue. It will be a scrum on the 22 of New Zealand. New Zealand will have the feed as well.
Such a hard position for Keenan to be able to figure out what he's going to do. You've got the split scrum there. Jordy Barrett on the right-hand side. And he's basically back by himself, trying to cover the backfield.
Well, it's a big shove there from New Zealand, and I mean from the island. New Zealand a bit of pressure there. They go wide to Sevi Reese. So it's Quinn Tupaya. Metallic now, but it's a really good contact on the ground there from, I think it's James. No, it's not James Ryan. And Caelan Doris is over that. Wow, that's a very big penalty to win there. This is very kickable. So big decision time here for Ireland, and they will go for poles.
The Irish know got to keep falling on points every time they're down. If you look at last week, KT sensible decision here for Johnny Sexton. Not the only decision Mills yet. Phelan Doris, it's the second time he's been over the ball for a long time, but very strong. Couldn't get the top of the first one. That time he does the try position.
So it could very well be 10-0 after 30 minutes here for Ireland, so it's pretty much the perfect start for them. Yeah, but that's an interesting point. Sexton is 12 points away from hitting 1,000 points. I think the only active player I've seen there that has 1,000 is Owen Farrell. What a player that Sexton has been, and it looks good. It's looking good. He's turned. It is 3 points. Oh, what a start so far from Ireland. He would absolutely love to lead his side to a win in New Zealand against Zealand. Level the series, take it to the final one. Once again, going sometimes to the middle. It's a really good take up the air there from Omani. Gives the park going towards the left-hand side. Long pass out to Sexton. Kick ahead there from, I think it was Robbie Henshaw. Goes straight down the throat of Geordie Barrett. Bowden Barrett, in fact. Now he gives it to Jordan Barrett, but James Lewis can come off his line. Sevi Rees. Henshaw can't bring him down, but he's got a little bit of track push of Josh van der Vliet obliges. Ball's available right up against touchline for Aaron Smith. Comes aside to Brody Metallic, who gets away from the first tackle, but eventually brought down. Smith now to Barrett. Barrett to Barrett. Up to Tyke Byrne and Tyke Furlong, the Tigers. Barrett short to his brother. The Barrett show. Smith there. It's a really good line being run there by Quintupai, but well read. Dalton Papili. Metallic so far. Really good defense so far from Ireland. They're not really getting too much gain on advantage yet. I think Aaron Smith will go to the boot. No, decides not to go, so he goes to Bowden Barrett, who lifts into the air, putting Mac Hansen under a lot of pressure. And it's actually a knock on there for New Zealand. Who else? Yeah, let me go check out the chat here. Where are we at? Robert says, hoping Ireland win this game. Hope they don't fall by the wayside like last time. Real says Ireland wins, he reckons. Kicking Hard BPN says, hope Ireland wins. Alpha Link is going Ireland crosses our penalty. Sarasov Steve says New Zealand win by 30. Albert says, I had a feeling Ireland didn't show their true colours last week. They targeted this game. 3 points taken. Paddies never have the fitness. They watch them after 60. Their lungs will be down in their green lame socks. Albie says New Zealand doing Wipers Kiss copying the box again, but I guess they have a 1.9 winger to kick to, so it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, if you've got it, why not, If you've got the tools, might as well use the damn things. It's a very good looking good shot. We're going to go the short side to Mac Hansen. Mac Hansen taken out. And there's a very good chase there from Jabson Gibson Park, but Barrett's done very well to round him, but he comes inside and Caleb Doris made a very good tackle. New Zealand pinned back to well within their 22. And Josh van der Vliet is trying to make a nuisance of himself at the back. Okay, all the way back. Yeah, I wondered about this collision on Mac Hansen. Yeah, I think someone's taken out Mac Hansen here. It didn't look particularly good in real time. That was a massive hit on his head, on his face.
possible foul play. It's just it's never targeting the ball, okay, mate? So it's just going to come up now.
No, man, that is so reckless.
Shoulder that makes contact. It's the contact point.
This could be a red card, you know.
We're just going to get one angle, the reverse angle to show you that. He's got to brace himself too. He's gone out. This is a very fast game. He's up in the air.
So, okay, he's gone for the... I mean, that's shoulder to head, actually. So he's trying to go for the charge down, and as he's coming down, his shoulders make contact with Caleb Doris' head.
I agree. It's not high danger. It is yellow card. We're just going to get you the mark for it now, okay, mate? Thank you.
It looks like a yellow card is going to be the call here.
Yellow card for 11. Leicester flying at Anuku. The All Blacks will be down to 14 men for the next 20 minutes. First contact to the chest. First contact to the chest. Then the edge contact to the head. So we're going to give a yellow card. Okay? Marks over there and where the ball bounced. Yeah, so we'll just get those marks for us. Yeah.
Well, he's off. Leicester Fanganuko is going to spend 10 minutes in the bin, so you've got to get that up, don't we, on our scoreboard. 10 minutes, chaps. Right, so all of a sudden, and the penalty is where the ball lands, so Ireland have managed to put it in touch on the 5 meters, so this will be a massive. I mean, if they score here, suddenly go 15, 17-0 up after 17 minutes with 10 minutes to go against a 14-man All Black side. It's a very good line of work as well. They shoot to the point of contact. But I think that they've defended this very well. Yeah, I think Ireland have actually stuffed this up. They have stuffed this up. It is a turnover ball. Too fancy, too fancy. No need for that, chaps. There was no need for that. Yeah, they just didn't form it particularly well, and unfortunately, it very much by the time that it had reformed, it was very quite. It was the New Zealand forwards went straight through the middle of the maul there. S-Box says, when All Blacks kick it sexy, when Box kick it's a disgrace to the game of rugby. Obviously says that's a red. They're looking for anything not to give the red. Kedorf says, in Europe, that's a red all day, Selby, but we all know the ref wants a Kiwi passport. Obviously says, yep, All Blacks just kicking a lucky, just yellow card. He was a lucky boy. There should have been a red. Yeah, I must admit, I thought, I kind of look at that as think of that as fairly reckless. To put yourself in the air like that. And so Sam Kane trying to make the point that if he keeps his arms up, it's nothing. But I don't think it would be. I think it would be a penalty regardless. And they're also now saying that, you know, if you go into the air, you have to be responsible with how you do it, because it come down really hard on Mac Hansen there. And to say that the contact wasn't to the head, I'm not quite sure what they were looking at, because there was definitely shoulder to head contact. Decent scrum there. It does come back to back. A penalty, in fact, for New Zealand. Offside is the call, which is a bit of an Australian one, and Jamison Gibson Park is furious with that call.
Interesting. I think I was just protesting Johnson gets a part of the thing. I think that Semi can profile good from the scrum. On the clear. Semi reacts to it.
So far, Ireland really not able to make that. And Papali'i carries it up in the midfield with the back of the line out. Smith going to Artie Severe. being brought down by Doris and Johnny Sexton. Okay, Taylor now. Aaron Smith asked for a few blockers. It's a really good take up the air from Hugo Keenan, who is so good in the air. This is good work there. Okay, Ringrose decides to go down to the boot. And he finds touch, something out 22. That's a nice little kick in behind, actually, from Ringrose.
Taking opportunities for the All Blacks have been far between.
Taylor goes to Barrett to the front of the line out. And it's a penalty for taking on the airbase. I mean, to have conceded basically, I think it's 3 penalties now since getting the yellow card is such a waste at the moment. I mean, it's almost half the time's gone down and they haven't made anything count yet.
Just got to get those penalties right. Not let the All Blacks off the ball. It's the period now, 20-minute mark in last week for a really good. This goes big world in this one.
They go to the back of the line. It's well taken up by Xavier and Tam Kane. That's really poor from not a knock on, apparently from New Zealand knockback is the call. And it's with a bit of pressure goes to Bowden. So Bowden decides to go to the boot. Once again, very well taken out the air from Hugo Keenan. Someone who's taken to international rugby seamlessly. James Lowe coming short, but it's a little bit isolated, but good work to a couple of players coming out to support. Matt Hansen standing at second receiver, boots down. Bowden Barrett has touched as and moves back, but he's got a bit of time here. A penalty against the All Blacks. Sam Kane was offside as the call here. So another penalty for Ireland. Good morning, just for the fun of it. I hope you're well. Let me rather open a beer so early in the morning. Goodness me. Well, enjoy that. Enjoy that. I'm not going to join you there. Obviously, bro, I need to take advantage of this. Man up. Agreed. Last week, this time, the All Blacks got back to the game, but not today. Well, I think they just need to get some points on the board here. Ireland need to keep that scoreboard pressure.
On Aaron Smith, and at the moment, starts under that high ball. They try and change it, take him out to pick up to their 15. Ireland don't have a long range kicker. Sure, if the All Blacks had a penalty there, Geordie Barrett would give it a crack. In fact, he did in practice a couple of times.
Right, so Ireland found touched about 10 meters short of the 22. They go to Armani. And Josh van der Fleer under a lot of pressure there. But they still do have possession. Gibson Park goes to Tyke Furlong. Gibson Park sniping down the left there. A couple of players there. Good work to Armani. Sheehan comes inside. Quick ball needed from Gibson Park. Goes to Doris. Gibson Park to Josh van der Fleer. It's well read though by. Oh, it's a little kick over the top from Johnny Sexton. Bouncing for Geordie Barrett. Pops it to Bowden Barrett. Bowden Barrett under a bit of pressure. Really good work there from the Barretts there. Good kick down Park field from Bowden Barrett. Didn't find touch, so Johnny Sexton's down the inside, looking for options. Ooh! We managed to step inside. Couldn't get the ball away, but Gibson Park. James Ryan. Gibson Park goes back to the short side. And Bowden Barrett has intercepted it. And he's kicked it straight into touch. And a double whistle blow here from Yak Paper. They might go have a look at some stuff here. 13 green tackled out the ball. So we're going to have a look here. But that's what I wanted. When Sexton made that breakdown of the blind side, he wanted to come inside, pop the inside, but there was no option. Ooh. So Sexton goes down the side, yeah. And Tuangafasi takes out Gary Ringrose. Ooh, this could be interesting, you know. It's definitely a penalty. Okay, so the question is asking, is there covering tackle? Otherwise, it would be no ways. I'm sorry, I don't think Geordie Barrett is stopping. If Gary Ringrose, if Sexton gets this offload away, if Tuangafasi does not take him out, he's away. Geordie Barrett's about a good 5-6 meters away, and he only has to go about 7 meters. This has to be a penalty try, surely. There is cover. Yako, what are you on about? There is no ways that is not the Yako paper. You've had a mare there. I'm going to tweet that. I mean, they're down to 13 men, but how they've not found a penalty try. There's no way Geordie Barrett's making up the ground. Even when the All Black commentator said it should have been a penalty try, you know it should have been a penalty try every day of the week. Go and retweet me, people. That is definitely a penalty try. That's really poor from Yako Paper. I mean, Geordie Barrett, as I said, must have been at least about 5 meters away from him. Gary Ringrose is basically at full tilt. At the most, he would have carried Geordie Barrett over the line with him. We obviously have to make a substitution here because with Tuangafasi on the hot seat, they've had to sacrifice Papali'i for Tavu, who's on now at the tight head. But this is a huge opportunity for Ireland because they're currently New Zealand 13. They should get Leicester Fanganuku back after this play, but for this they will be down to 13, so it's a huge opportunity here for Ireland. You've got to score. You says Black Box was mad at yes, Nelson. Xbox says told you they put some black stuff in his coffee this morning. This hotel probably have footage. Well, James Lowe carries strong there. Gibson Park going to Doris. It's a nice leg drive from him. Decides to go back towards the short side. James Lowe's mashed up Sam Kane, but the ball's gone loose, and Johnny Sexton's had to dive on it under a lot of pressure there from Artie Severe. And Kane's over. You know, Yako Paper, you really cocked this up, mate. This should be 17-0 at the moment. Ireland have managed to get the ball back though, so still a chance, but really they should be 17-0. Ooh, almost through. Oh, that's a good pickup there from Tyke. Ah, yeah, sit down. Gibson Park to nobody. Hugo Keenan. He's found a bit of support. He's found some options. Cuts inside. Well read by Brody Vitalik. Gibson Park to Josh van der Fleer. Tyke Byrne. So tackle by Scott Barrett. Gibson Park caught on the ball. Back, but they still have a job. Oh, there's numbers. Low to Van der Fleer. Van der Fleer brought down. Sam Kane can't play that. Porter helping out a scrum off there. Tyke Byrne. Sexton to Tyke Furlong. There's a knock-on from Green. Yako Paper, you missed a lot more than just that knock-on, chap. You have ruined a very good test match because that had to have been the penalty try.
Coming back. Oh, we've got a picture of one minute now. All Black Dane Cole. Dave, you're just struggling a little bit to get your game going at the moment. What do you expect from the All Blacks now? I wouldn't say struggling now. That was awful tip from the lads. 13 men down, the boys keep turning up.
Should be 17-0. I mean, if Ireland loses within 5, they're going to be fuming. Absolutely fuming. Yo, Twitter is buzzing today. Everyone's watching the rugby. My feed is just all about New Zealand versus Ireland. Everyone's on the rugby train. Yeah, I agree, guys. CPO, the brown envelope is getting fatter by the minute. Chucker might retire after this match. Yeah, not at a good time. I feel like it could have been a red card against Leicester Fanganuko. I want to see if anybody's tweeted about that.
Keep turning up, leave some drivers to drive us around and just kind of weather the storm. But yeah, we need to play a bit more, but we're pretty proud of what effort we're putting in the moment. Thank you very much for your time, Dan. Take care, mate. Cheers, bro. Well, massively telling stat in this game. Look at it, the territory. 75% in favour of Ireland. Possession is pretty even, but the All Blacks just not creating any opportunity.
So it will be an All Blacks scrum. They're back down to 14. Should be 17-0 down, though.
So back to 14 players at least, with Fanganuku back on the field. So Smith gets it in.
And it's a penalty for New Zealand. So, yeah, with 12 minutes to go, the score remains 10 points to 0. They're back to 14 men, and with 6.5 minutes left with Tungafasi, there is a penalty for New Zealand, and they will be able to keep themselves downfield. And you really do feel like Jaco Paper has robbed Ireland of a very big, very important try there. They go over to the top there, and it's been knocked on from New Zealand, and it's popped up to Caelan Doris. And about to say there's about 45 knock-ons there, chaps. So we'll go back for the scrum. Weird decision to go over the top. And Quintu Parr just couldn't get there. I mean, he does get there. Probably should have done better, actually. Goes straight through his arms. Yeah, I don't need points here. They've got to get points here. They've been robbed of a penalty try, so they need to try and go to half-time at 17-0 up ball. He says, I'm sorry for the England game, but the Springboks game I'm more sorry for 100%. Yes, box is real. I'm just mad that Ireland haven't scored in a while. Agreed. Can't believe Ireland didn't score from this period. Paper soft and All Blacks. S-Box says, if Rusty was on the pitch, he would have shown a sign to the Irish team. He would point New Zealand team and open his mouth wide. Only to understand what it means. Yeah, I know. That's a good looking scrum, though, from Ireland, but Gibson Park does use it. There's a lot of players down the right side. Henshaw carries it up first. Gibson Park now goes to Sexton. Sexton going to the low. Low weighing up his options. Gives it. Oh, that's a big tackle on Gary Ringrose, and they're going to have a look at it. I think it's a head-on-head collision here between Gary Ringrose, trying to work out who the All Black player is down. Yeah, there's blood as well. This is definitely head-on-head. No, that's a yellow card as well, because that is a shocking tackle. Tavimatu, that is horrendous. Coming to the direction change. I love how every single time there's a penalty against the All Blacks, we have to go find a reason to not award it.
Yako Piper wants to have another look here.
Yako Piper. Then we can see another yellow card. Yeah, this doesn't look good. No, there's no direction change whatsoever. That's a yellow card. Borderline red card. In fact, it probably is a red card. I mean, that's head-on-head collision. There's no... He's going there always. Got time to choose. I mean, come on, Oaks. This has to be a red card. Red card. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Justice. I mean, the New Zealand discipline has been appalling. 2 yellow cards. Red card. They should have had a penalty try as well. Can't remember whether you're great officiating now. Yeah, this is great. This is reasonable officiating. See, head contact protocols. I like this actually. Has head contact occurred? Yes. Is there foul play? Yes. What is the degree of danger? Very high. Is there any mitigation? Which is what they're looking at, the change of direction. No. So the reserve. So I mean, you're gonna love this. That the tight head gets binned. The reserve tight head comes on and gets red carded. That's such an easy red to make. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, Gary was off. So. I just understood that the red cards are like historically have like the fewest red cards. They are the least red carded side. I'm sure I've read that somewhere. It's an interesting stat actually. International rugby teams fewest red cards. But the next round will be uncontested because they don't have a tight head on the moment. Right, Iron best. Oh yeah, Sheena through, just short. Yako. Penalty for double movement. But I think the touch judge has got a penalty for Ireland. Yeah, well, thankfully for the bloody touch judge because Paper's having a mare here. Obviously, New Zealand discipline is always like this when they're under pressure. They just get away with it most of the time. Richie McCheat. Obviously, Ireland not helping themselves. 100%. Ireland also need to take the flipping chances here. I mean, New Zealand, you can see, had 6 penalties in this first half, and Ireland haven't made them count yet. Hugh says, Wales versus SA will run rings around the world with them. We are already on fire. Yeah, it's definitely a penalty. I mean, how is Black Paper's not picking that up? Right, back to James Ryan. Chaps, they've got no tight head. They're down. Yeah, that's it. Just flipping more of him. You're wearing green. Embrace the box. Yeah, penalty advantage as well. Welcome to the mall. Hey, honestly, get out of here. And then they come from the side. Yeah, I think Sam Kane's about to get a yellow card, you know. Also need to get a red card up for New Zealand, not for Ireland. Yeah, tell them, Yako.
Now this is against Taylor, who number 2 is grabbing a leg. Rabbit the lead.
Right, so yellow card and a red card for New Zealand at the moment. I mean, you put this in the front of the line out. You go for them all. If they collapse, you have to sit there saying, what more do we have to do for a penalty try? Come now. Yes, side says, how many errors in New Zealand today? Just every error possible. Yeah, I was about to say, Johnny's just woken up to the fact that it would be uncontested scrums.
Yeah, they are, Nisbo. They are, yeah. Congratulations on his debut. Unfortunate circumstances.
Well, here we go. A debutant for New Zealand. Aiden Ross is on. He can't. It'll still be uncontested, but you still have to have 3 front rows. Because Aiden Ross is not clear as player on the tight head.
We're just trying to figure out who's going to come off here, I think. But Artie Savia's gone, so
Right, so Artie Sevilla has gone off.
Savia off.
So this, I mean, you got an uncontested scrum. It's
It's a bit hard to keep up here. Who's coming and who's going?
it's on the 5 meters. If you do not score from here,
This is uncontested, so 5 metres out. This is a great attacking opportunity for the Irish because they're not going to get any heat from the scrum. So the platform's already set. They're flattening up, Bundy up, there at the centre. Also, Robbie Headshaw, their ability to be able to muscle up. They got
CBS, like Tom said, 2-0 to the block against Zealand and 50 plus points for both games. Cross says, this is insane. I've been saying this New Zealand team don't have experience, lack discipline. Jaden Fernandez says, guys, relax. Only 10 minutes. All Blacks still warming up. No, listen, the All Blacks have been absolutely shite in this first half. In fact, this could be one of the worst All Black first halves I've ever seen. Ireland, how are they not like 25 points up here? I don't know. I mean, the possession stats must be ludicrous. But this is uncontested, so it's right there for... Well, Gibson Park goes to... And Short goes to Low, and Low's fucking knocked it on. Oaks, geez, like it. Yeah, you know what? And I've actually got no time for James Lowe after his comments against Springboks, and he's just cocked it up again. Goodness me. I mean, how Ireland are not 25 points ahead here? They're 10 points, and they've just butchered that. Oh, my living. That is dreadful. Dreadful, dreadful, dreadful. Yeah, you know what? You want to tune the box? That's what you get, swine.
So now it's the All Blacks put into their scrum. Okay, who gets up? Find it. So now, Leicester Fainganuku has to make up the 8. So the All Blacks have only got 5 backs at the moment.
Ah, yeah. Really poor, yeah, from Ireland.
Pick at the times they can, and they do. Geordie Barrett.
Right, so there's boots up ahead from Geordie Barrett. Keenan will have an opportunity to counter here. It's well raided by Aaron Smith, who makes the tackle. Ireland back on the halfway line.
Gives it off to Singer.
Cody Taylor up very quickly there. I think he timed his run pretty well, though. Johnny Sexton going to Henshaw. Long ball out to Mac Hansen, who's got a bit of space ahead of him. He's going to chip and chase. Question is, who did it come off of? Does it... No, it's a pretty poor chip ahead from Mac Hansen.
Good job there of playing against 13.
Guys.
Position. They're
Albie says All Blacks can't handle physicality, never been able to. If Cites Island needs to score, they're supposed to be 14-0 up. Well, look, they should be 17-0 up because there should have been a penalty try earlier. Well, here comes Tunga Farsi, so they're back up to 14 men. Cross says this Ireland team discipline is similar to the Box 2017 under Kutsia. I just can't. I mean, first of all, it should have been 17-0 because it should have been a penalty try.
player, so he has to start you off as well. And I think this is what they're talking about here, the officials.
It's no way. The fourth official is literally counting the All Black side because they put everybody back on. Tunga Farsi's come on, as has Artie Sevilla, but they have to sacrifice somebody. This is an interesting point. So because they sacrifice Artie Sevilla, does that mean that he has to stay up for the rest of the game, or can they sacrifice somebody else?
Yeah, not necessarily. Yeah, you're right.
Now Jakope's going to have to go have a chat to his assistants because they can't work out that they need one more player down.
So there's a red card. You can only have 14 players until there's 15 on the field now. Okay. So then 8 must have. No, 8 people are red, so 8 needs to come off. Yes. Oh.
Yeah, so they've lost Artie Severe.
That's going to lose one of their best players.
Artie Severe is off. That's a technical mishap.
Because of the red, he has to stay off. He had to go off because it was a scrum. There is an back down to then bring on a prop to come onto the field. But if he made, they would have to say, oh, you've got to go off for the red guy, so you need to go back there. But because everyone taken off for the red, he's one that has to go off.
Well, that is an administrative disaster. So because they took Artie Severe off for the red card when they had to put on a prop, the fact that obviously a prop has to come back on to for the scrummaging means that Artie Severe's game has actually come to an end. So the red card, first of all, they've lost Angus Tavu, but they've also lost Artie Severe now for the rest of the game. Aaron Smith doing what he can do to try and get that maul moving forward. Aaron Smith does use it, goes down the short side. And kicking come from Barrett, but bit of a waste, really. No, it did come off an Irish boot. And the frustrating thing is, after how badly New Zealand have been, they're only 10 points behind. So Ireland really have not made any progress at this stage. All Blacks to be winning the line out there. And they got an advantage as well. Oh, my living. Ireland, what do you want to do? I mean, this is very kickable. The All Blacks will be able to kick 3 points here, run the clock down, to get to half-time where they can regroup. And they'll only be 7 points down at this stage. Smith going himself. Bit of a show and go, but he's well read by Josh van der Fleer. Smith going to go to Bowden. Barry puts his head down. Quinn Tupaia. Penalty advantage. Smith going to Sam Cane. And they're going to go back for the penalty. Wow, what do the All Blacks do here? Do they go for the corner? Do they go for the 3? Well, they're having a bit of a press conference here as to they're going to go for the corner. Advantage as well. I'm going to really cock this up, haven't they? Penalty advantage again here for New Zealand. To Bauer. So far, it's reasonable defense from Ireland, but there is a penalty advantage for the All Blacks. Tuangafasi now short to Bauer. He's fallen the wrong way. Oh, I think it's a harsh penalty, that one. So they've quickly taken it from Cody Taylor. I'm not sure that was part of the plan. Sevu Reece now Another penalty advantage. Smith goes to Barrett. Barrett's trying to... Radio Tag picks it up and he'll be held up, so they'll go back for another penalty, I'm sure. And I think we're going to see our first Irish yellow card. I mean, this has just become a card fest. And James Ryan is gone. So, actually, I can move that yellow card to Ireland because they've got the yellow card. All Blacks got the red card. Goodness me, Ireland. Goodness me. I mean, now Ireland will be lucky to go into blooming halftime with a 10-point lead. Mustafa says, if Ireland can't win with 14 guys and most times with 13, then they'll never beat the All Blacks in 100 years. New Zealand. Well, big defense needed cheer from Ireland. If they can just get to half-time, another advantage. Goodness me. Well, that's pretty... 4 side now, so it's penalty against Ty Byrne. Ukiyoani has got the worst haircut in rugby at the moment. There you go. Take it quickly. Go to Brody Metallic. Smith goes to Papaili, who came escapes inside, but as well read eventually kind of just short. Aaron Smith goes to Sam Kane. Good tackle there for Mac Hansen. Aaron Smith now going to, I think that was Bauer. All Blacks parked on the... It's a good tackle from Sexton on Cody Taylor. Another advantage. There goes the Sirens. The Highlands standing strong, but they do have a penalty advantage to New Zealand. And they've knocked it on. They've awarded the try. Johnny Sexton can't believe it. How did that ball pop in behind the... I want to see a replay here. I'm not quite sure what's happened here. The All Blacks have scored, but how has this ball popped up on the underneath the poles? I mean, that is so classic. Just work. I mean, the world just works for Barrett. The ball pops out right in front of Burden Barrett's feet. Literally, suddenly pops off his foot. Suddenly, he finds himself over the try line with the ball right there at his feet. Look, Barrett's a very good at rugby, but I mean, how does that happen for him? That is mental. And Ireland, for all the man advantage, for all the possession they have, they're going to go into halftime with a 3-point lead. Well, you know what? I mean, I'd say it's good work from New Zealand to be in such a situation and not be in a worse one. But I think that's, to be honest, that's just a really, really bad half from Ireland. After such a good start, to not be able to capitalize on basically 3 cards, playing against 13 men for at least about 10 to 12 minutes, and still not being able to capitalize. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what really to say. Anyway, halftime score is 10 points to 7 in favor of Ireland. They need to calm down. They need to go back to base. They need to start doing what they were doing in the first half if they are to get anything out of this game. But yeah, we'll be back in a few minutes. Please don't go away. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. And I'll see you guys now. And we are back. Hello, and welcome back to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And, a very interesting first half. Ireland going 10-0 up, were robbed of a penalty try. New Zealand had 3 cards at various stages, including a red card, so they will be down to 40 men for the rest of the game. But Ireland currently down to 14 men. And I think the biggest thing, actually, is they need to start taking opportunities. Like the one at the moment they're about to take here. So Sexton carrying strongly there. Gibson Park going to Bundy Aki, who is on for Gary Ringrose, who was injured during the collision, which resulted in a red card. I was about to say. Brody Retallick is down here, and he doesn't look happy at all. No, Brody Retallick's basically headbutted Johnny Sexton's behind. Not gone well for him. Not gone well for him. So it will be an Irish scrum. Right, who's in the chat? Who's in the chat? Get in the chat. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Let me know what you think of the game so far. Let me know which game you're most excited for. We've obviously got England taking on Australia after this, which will be quite an exciting game, which will be quite a lot of fun. But yeah, what are you guys? What are your thoughts so far of the match? A break and play here. We will be restarting with a scrum for Ireland. Right, so we scrum for Ireland on the right hand side. So they've got the full, more or less the full width of the field to work with, which is quite good for them. Because the Park goes down the short side. Taps ahead for Mac Hansen, and if that was going to stay in, it could have been interesting, but it does find touch just shy of the 5 meter line. Now Ireland can put a bit of pressure on the New Zealand line. They don't contest. And Smith goes short to Sam Kane, who has to dive forward and taking it. And now back to Barrett. Got a much better angle to work with. And he does find a reasonable touch finder up towards just past the 22. So Ireland will still have a good opportunity to try and attack from the set piece here. Okay, so Barrett has gone off. So Patrick Tupeluto is on. Oh, and the All Blacks have stolen the line out. So that's a big mistake there from Ireland. But having said that, they've been given a bit of a reprieve there. Because, I mean, how has he knocked that on? There's a really good line of win there by Barrett. Yeah, it's really good work from Josh van der Fleer, just just ripping the ball in the tackle. Van der Fleer is immense, absolutely immense. Yeah, and Lester Fanganuku probably needed to do a bit better than that in terms of protecting the ball, especially after given the field position, because once again, there's a scrum just outside the 22. What about going down the short side? Eventually goes to Sexton. Sexton goes to Bundy Aki. Almost a bit of instruction there, but nothing. Back to Sexton. Sexton goes to Robbie Henshaw. Henshaw runs into Barrett as I get into the 22. Gibson Park under a lot of pressure there. Very isolated. Needs a bit of support. A lot of pressure on the ground from Sevi Reese. And I think that they've turned it over here. That's really, really poor. They have turned it over. Poor retention there from Ireland. Now they're trying to run it out the own 22 here. Are the All Blacks. That goes past to Rico Wani. I want to try and get a pass. Bundy Aki is brought down just in front of Mac Hansen. Smith, he's a long pass doing a Farsi. Got a yellow card in the first half. Now Smith going to Barrett. Barrett going to another Barrett. Sorry, it's Papili. On the right side, they get up to the 10-meter line. Barrett starts chipping behind. Scott Barrett was after it, and it comes loose, and it's collected by Bauer, but there was a knock-on from Scott Barrett. Another break and play here. Ty Furlong getting a bit of treatment. Joe says All Black coach felt sorry for Ireland, so he told Hodge to leave early. Black paper all class so far, making marvelous calls. I mean, not sure about that. Joe says I missed the box doing box kicks 30 meters off in the trial, and best way to beat the All Blacks is what the Ireland should do. Phil Bennett danced around the SC Pants 74 wearing their wives. S-Box said if I was a vampire, I would stay far away from you, my friend. Drinking and flying is against vampire laws. Don't know what you guys are on about. I was Pretoria Bock game, unbelievable game so far. Hugh reckons that 16 minutes Kiwis will go away, put on 30. Musbar says that's a test gone for Brody Metallic, he's finished. And Matthew Dixon saying my money is still on the All Blacks, to be honest. Right, well, 3 points is the deficit. I have another attacking scrum here on the halfway line. Right, so at the reset, we're going again. Gives a pretty solid scrum at the moment. They go to the right hand side. Goes to Bundy Aki, the crash ball. Solid carry from him. Gibson Park, quick ball to Johnny Sexton. Sexton going to James Lowe. Not too many options. Gives it away to Henshaw. Henshaw's working really hard. He needs to get his knees to the ground. He does. Gibson Park to Tyke Furlong. Pretty big tackle on him. Gibson Park goes to Lowe. Lowe to Sexton. Sexton to Bundy Aki on the angle. They've got numbers. He goes to Omani. He's got Matt Hansen in support. Up into the 22. Sexton. Ty Byrne on the left shoulder. Ty Byrne as well. Oh, my living. And he's just sat down Geordie Barrett as well. Gibson Park to Lowe. Lowe's a little bit isolated. Gibson Park to Mac Hansen at first receiver. Mac Hansen decided to step inside, but he's very isolated. Needs a bit of couple of support here. It is available to Gibson Park. Goes to Tyke Furlong. Much better from Ireland so far. Gibson Park decided to go to the right hand side. Josh van der Fleer coming on the angle. I want to see that Ty Byrne run again. The way he sat down Geordie Barrett there. Gibson Park sniping himself. Pick up and go by James Ryan. Ball is available there. They're just 2 meters short. Andrew Porter is in for a second. Well, there we go. You know, every now and again you get to a prop who says, you know what, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. And Andrew Porter has gone over for try number 2. How often does a prop score a brace? There's a really good pass out there from you say. I mean, who is that? I think is that Quentin Tuparo. I mean, that was absolutely dreadful defense, and then a really good run there by Ty Burney. Then just sits down Geordie Barrett. Pick up and go here, and look, Bauer was never particularly well set and was actually far too easy there for Andrew Porter. Right, well, there we go. At long last, Ireland do breach New Zealand's defences once again. Sexton converts it, so it'll be 17 points to 7. Right, well, a couple of subs here coming from the All Blacks, I think. So Will Jordan is coming on. Right, Will Jordan on, and his first Aki was pretty safe under the restart there. Outside 22 here, Ireland, so Gibson Park can't go into touch. That's gone very high, not particularly far, and it's creeping towards the touchline. And I think it's come off Hugo Keenan there. So it will be an All Blacks line out just outside 22. So not the best restart for Ireland. Needed a lot more on that at Gibson Park. All Blacks going back to that driving more, which is pretty effective for them in the first half. Once is the call here. Aaron Smith will use it. He goes flat to Quinn Tupaia. And they're trying to hold him up in the tackle, but they do have to release. Ty Burn now going through, but Aaron Smith does use it. Goes Tuangafasi, who's lost the ball in contact. There's a knock on there. Yeah, so a knock on. So it will be an Ireland scrum. Yeah, I must admit, I don't think I've seen the All Blacks play this poorly in a long time. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so Will Jordan onto the park, a big player for the All Blacks. Interested to see what he can do today on the right wing. And Retallick has passed HIS, so you should be all right to come and return. Massive scrum from Ireland, and a scrum penalty. That's a huge moment in the game. I mean, Tyke Furlong at his very, very best. Look, it's going to be a long night for Tuangafasi because he has to play the entire game. Right, Sexton managing to find touch about the halfway line, just past the halfway line. An important year for Ireland to keep the pressure up. Really, they've gone into a good position, but got to keep the pressure on because that's what they didn't do very well in the first half. Is that they started perfectly, but then couldn't keep the pressure on. But here comes Brody Retallick back onto the park. Passes HIA. Pretty well taken by Ty Byrne, but been messy. Bundy Aki of a standing start doesn't make too much ground. Gibson Park goes to the boot. A lot of Irish chasers there. And it's a knock back, I think, here. But James Lowe has dived on it. It was a knock-on advantage for Ireland. They need to scrum off. They go Johnny Sexton. Sexton, long pass out to Bundy Aki out on the wing there. Comes inside. Bit of a weird option there for Johnny Sexton. Right, Sexton there, short to Doris. Oh, good pass there. Ty Byrne with the offload as well to James Ryan. James Ryan up to the 22. Quick ball here for Gibson Park needed. He goes to Hugh Keenan behind a couple of runners. Keenan's well met in the tackle there. Gibson Park, I mean, the offload, yeah, really, there's so much space. James Lowe, long pass out wide. Oh, my living. There's a penalty advantage, thankfully, because that is a shocker of a pass from James Lowe. Right, it's a penalty right in front, and I'm surely Ireland take the points here and put themselves 20 points to 7 up. Well, if you look at our poll, after 240 votes, 60% of people said that the All Blacks were going to win. So that prediction looking a little bit sketchy at the moment as Johnny Sexton will line up his... Oh, it's a solid carry from Bundy. He's so powerful. He's got such a short center of gravity. Look what it means to Andy Farrell. Right, here comes Brody Retallick back on the park in place of Patrick Tupelotu. Right, he's 3 from 3 tonight as Johnny Sexton. 2 conversions and a penalty. This to extend the lead to 13 points. And important to keep ticking the scoreboard over. He's just still so class as Johnny Sexton. He's really, really pulled the strings well tonight. Yeah, I mean, that will literally split the polls. It doesn't get much more central than that. Solid stuff from Johnny Sexton. Ireland going 20 points to 7 up with 24 minutes to play. We could have an early shock here. They would be the first home nation to win a match in this period. Last weekend, Wales, England, Ireland, and Scotland all going down in their respective matches. I think Richie Mo'unga's on the park here. So yeah, Richie Mo'unga is in the park. Try and bring in Sevi Reece. Sevi Reece gets away from one. He's eventually brought down by Dan Sheehan. We have the Watu Bauer at first receiver. He gives to Will Jordan, who cuts the side. Josh van der Fleer is over there trying to win the ball, but misses out. Retallick, his first carry, is coming back on. Geordie Barrett going to Richie Mo'unga. Mo'unga wrapped up there by Doris. Now Tuanga Fasi up towards the halfway line. That's a replacement. There's another replacement there because that Stokohawa was on for Cody Taylor. Now Bio. But so far, Irish defense is holding pretty firm after 8 phases. Yeah, and it's knocked on as well, so that is huge from Ireland. 9 phases, maybe 2 meters gain in the entire thing. And all of a sudden, Ireland's looking like the team that we saw in the first couple of minutes, looking much, much better. Winning the small battles. I think that's what they didn't do very well in the first half, is the fact that they dominated everything, but they couldn't win the small battles. They couldn't find themselves in the right position. They couldn't get their penalty and make it count. They couldn't find the point scoring opportunities and make them count. But a scrum penalty earlier, a really, really good try, really good defense here. Chris Klein saying, loving the slick passing and handling by the Irish. Agreed. Joe says Johnny should have went to the corner, keep the pressure. The All Blacks happy they're taking the 3. Now in Test rugby, you gotta keep the scoreboard ticking. Albert says the only reason I'm rooting for Ireland is of All Blacks being so arrogant. Musbar says bloody hell, slick handle by the Irish. Yeah, listen, they've been really good today. The handling has been so impressive. I mean, you've got players, and it's another penalty, scrum penalty. So now they'll be able to probably on the edge of Johnny Sexton's range, just behind the halfway line, but they'll kick towards the corner here and have a go. And this is going to be a long day in the office for Tunga Fasti, who has to play the entire game as the only tight head because his replacement got red carded. And so Ireland will be able to bring on Cian Healy. I mean, who's a fantastic player to be able to bring on. He's going to be able to have a go at a very tired. Well, he hasn't found touch here as Johnny Sexton. That's really good work there from Sever Reese. It's a pity he's a woman abuser. But that's a good kick as well from him. I thought you couldn't stand from outside and catch it inside. Was that only for open play? I go short here. The Ireland back inside their own half of the 10-meter line. Josh Van der Fleer comes away with it. Gives it short to Doris. That's a really good line being run by Doris. Makes a few meters. Gibson Park lifting it high for Mac Hansen to chase. Mac Hansen, and it falls back to Barrett, who goes to another Barrett. Geordie Barrett brings it down, falls just ahead of Ty Furlong, who then picks him up and holds half the New Zealand pack of bear by himself. They go to the short side here, the New Zealand. Will Jordan looking to snipe when brought down by Andrew Porter. Available for Aaron Smith, who goes short to Bauer. That's a really, really silly penalty there from Doris. He just decides to put his hands in. Well, Will Jordan's taken it quickly. New Zealand trying to up the tempo of the game so far. You know, that's really good handling. Geordie Barrett, that's a fantastic ankle tap. That's really important. Bauer on the angle. Bauer's broken through. Josh Van der Fleer's hunting him down. Brings him down. Gibson Park and Porter are over there and look to have stolen the ball. And a penalty. That's really, really good work from Gibson Park and Andrew Porter. 2 or 3 line breaks from New Zealand suddenly looked like they were looking really dangerous. And all of a sudden, gets a little bit isolated. Gibson Park, Porter, right over there. I mean, look, you're not going to dislodge Andrew Porter, are you? Look at the size of the man. Andrew Porter staying down here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Cian Healy back on. Or on, I suppose. Yeah, a really good ankle tap there by Caelan Dawes. That's actually a very important intervention on Geordie Barrett. He's well beaten, but he just throws his arm out there. This time, Johnny Sexton does find touch. There are a lot of scrum caps in this Irish side. Right, Falau Fakatava, busy being prepped to come on for his debut. ICV not looking particularly chuffed with life on the bench. Yep, there goes Aaron Smith. And Fakatava comes on for his debut. And shock and horror, where was he born? In Tonga. The 22-year-old has only been in New Zealand for about 6 years, I think it is. But he does make his All Blacks debut today. Look, at least he came whilst he was a schoolboy. That's a lot better than players who come in there like mid-20s. So Bundy Aki, it's a solid came from him. Oh, and they've lost it forward. Who's that? Who's shat the bed there? I think it was Dan Sheehan. Right, so it will be a scrum on the 10-metre line. Pretty poor there from Ireland, but an opportunity for a penalty. I mean, the way that they've been scrumming at the moment, it's been pretty one-sided. They've got George Bowen and Tunga Fassi in all sorts of trouble at the moment. 18 minutes to go. A reminder that we'll be going straight on to the England versus Australia game after this. Starts at, I think it's like 5 to 12 South African Standard Time. We just check that. Yeah, 11:55. So starting in about an hour and 10 minutes. And Fakatava's first touch is to boot it pretty deep. We've got a streaker in the park as well. Hugo Keenan's got quite a lot of time, and a streaker's busy being dealt on the side there. Mwanga decides not to take it quickly. Yeah, we've got a knob on the field. All right, yeah, come a couple of subs here. So Rob Herring's on. I mean, what a player to be able to bring on. As well as number 20, Jack Conan, who replaces. Who is he going to replace? Yeah, Kalen Doris is gone. I was very impressed with the work rate from Doris today. Played very well. But Jack Conan's a very nice player to be able to bring on. Very solid player, doesn't make it too many mistakes. Very strong ball carrier. I thought that Dan Sheehan had a pretty good game as well. Got better at the front of the line up there. He's still back well in their half on the 10-metre line. And trying to work their way towards the touch line, but so Fakatava will use it. Penalty advantage if they want it. Oh, a bit of a fumble there from Mwanga, and the ball doesn't find the hand, so it'll go back for the penalty. Lifting a leg. Not sure who it's against. I suppose I should remove the Irish card, shouldn't I? I was trying to open it up and lift the tempo. Look at the Orba Heka, Hugh says Tonga and Volcanoes need rugby players and boat paddlers their main export. Don't forget sheep, Self-Lingard. Adam says Port's man of the match performance, and the Super Sport panel said he has a weakness in the Irish scrum. Well, on the Irish side. Well, I think they might have to do a lot of backtracking on that. Well, there go the two props. Cian Healy, Finlay Beelum onto the park. What a game from Andrew Porter. They go to the front of the line to Barrett again, but this time Sam Kane uses it quite quickly. Gives to Fakatava. Long pass out towards Quinn Tupaia. Ricky Orani carrying it in too, but well met in the tackle by Bundy Aki. Oh, there's a miscommunication. And it's been hacked ahead from Ireland. Jamison Gibson Park. That's a really, really good kick as well. And Omani, everything he touches just turns to goal at the moment. It's just the ball's popped out, he's grabbed it, and he's put in a fantastic kick deep into the 22. And it's 50-22, by the way. It's a 50-22 by Peter Omani. I mean, how brilliant is that? It'll be an Irish line-out now. Well, score here and the game's in the bag, really. Right, Rob Herring, his first line of the day got Jack Conan as an option. Obviously, James Ryan will probably be the expected one. That looked really poor from the get-go. I mean, that's a really big opportunity miss. But it's a very 50-50 pass to good intervention there from Henshaw and Richie Mo'unga, putting him under a lot of pressure. And it's a penalty. It's a penalty for going off his feet at the breakdown, I think it is. Or beyond the breakdown. That's the second time they've been penalised for that. Well, here we go. Surely Johnny Sexton decides to take the 3 here. Do you have to get a mullet if you go to a New Zealand barber? Is that just a thing that you don't get to actually decide what you want? You walk in there with no hair and you come out with a mullet. I think it's Sevi Reese actually who does it. Yep, Johnny Sexton asks for his kicking team. How many points has he got? Because he needed 12 to get to 1,000 international points, and he's kicked 2 conversions, 2 penalties. So that's what, 10, eh? So this would take him past 1,000. Okay, so I think you need actually more than 12 because now he's saying it's a 996. So this will take him to 999. Right, and Sexton. No issues. 23 points to 7. 23.7. You got to think that the game's done here. 13 minutes to go. I mean, the Irish fans almost can't believe it. There are some very unimpressed New Zealand supporters here. Right, I think Jamison Gibson Park has left the field. So Conor Murray, who's the perfect player to see off a game, is on from the sounds of it. Still no Joe Carberry. No Kieran Treadwell, I don't think. Yeah, sorry there from Bandiaki under the high ball. Yeah, it is Conor Murray onto the park. Murray's first box kick will find touch. Not his best effort up towards the sort of just before the 10-meter line, but it not bad. So much experience is Conor Murray, hey? So much experience. As I said, he's probably the best, the perfect player you want seeing a game out. You know, Jamison Gibson Parker gives you a lot of speed, a lot of intensity, a lot of quick ball. Murray far more of a tactician, really. Playing his 98th cap today. Fakatava there. So New Zealand trying to find a way back into the game. Long pass out wide. Oh, and it's been knocked on. It's been knocked on. That's a really, really poor moan from Peter Suwakula. I actually don't know when he can. I think he might have just come on now. And Super's boy, and I apologize for the lost pictures. I'm gonna have to watch my data feed and see what's going on. Apparently, it's possession New Zealand. That's what we can tell you right now, whilst we wait for the TV to come back on. Yeah, what a game from Ireland! What a game! And I think that New Zealand, their own enemies really in terms of really, really poor discipline the entire game. Every card was deserved. You couldn't really argue it. I thought the red card was absolutely appalling. I thought that Ireland were actually rather a penalty try, which sort of shows you just how bad the New Zealand discipline has been. But so yeah, I don't think there could really be any real complaints, to be honest. Um, all right, now listening to the panel. Yeah, guys. So apparently they said that Andrew Porter wasn't good enough. Albie's still got his feed, so he's saying scrum is called. Maybe I need to get my VPN going. I need to go and flip in. Apparently it's down in Australia as well. Um, where we were at. Alvin was saying earlier last week was a false flag from Ireland. How the mighty All Blacks got brought back to earth. Where are those 30 at 64 All Blacks? All Blacks looking like sparrows and headlights. Yeah, they had a really bad day. Gamer from New Zealand says Joshua. All Blacks pulled the plug, says Jonathan. Manchester's guest players, Wales are blessing to possibly beat us. Nah, negative, negative. Still backing the buggers today. Scrum penalties is Albie. Albie's got the updates for us here, so I'm assuming is it for Ireland the scrum penalty. They had the yeah, there it is, scrum penalty for Ireland. Terry G, who's a very small member, saying the sheep farmers do the sheep and the play cut. They don't have bars. What's happening with the feed? Yeah, like I've got. It's anyway, I don't know what Albie's watching on that. He's still got it, but I'm busy watching the Supersport panel. Jake and Butch James has got some very trendy sneakers on there and a very trendy tie. Xbox says they said New Zealand will be ranked number one again after the series, apparently where they belong. Please say it again. Well, I did see something. Apparently, if Ireland were to beat New Zealand by 15 points and we were to lose, I think Ireland could actually go up to number one. So, which I don't think too many people were taking too seriously, but they do currently lead by 16 points. Right, Sexton slips line at 10 meters. Ireland win the line out. Well, there we go. Ireland's got possession of the ball at the moment, apparently, thanks to LB, our man on the ground, basically. I'd love to know what you're watching on that you can actually see it. 25-meter out. So obviously, is the Ireland on the attack, 25 meters out, just outside 22. Um, yeah, let me try and look at Right, there we go. So the tracker's there. So there's a turnover apparently. So New Zealand have now got in possession. That little dot over there is where the ball is. Ball recycled. I'm loving it, loving it. Look at the tracker. Hey. Look at the tracker coming in clutch here. Yeah, less than 8 minutes to go. Penalty awarded for New Zealand on the halfway line, apparently. I mean, Nick Barrett's busy talking about the fact that. Right, I think we're back. I think we're back. By the way, sorry about that. A couple of technical issues, but we are back. It looks like New Zealand have potentially scored. They are checking the grounding at the moment. With a very dodgy Supersport stream at the moment, although I think it's actually the international feed which is struggling at the moment. So they're going to go back for the penalty. No grounding apparently. Well, no evidence of grounding. So we're going to penalty for 5. So there is, yeah, just over 6 minutes to go. Peter Mine's getting treatment, not looking too happy. Supersport is back at this stage, apparently. Well, it's, on my screen it's back anyway. So if you're streaming, for example, you should be coming back to the actual match feed quite quickly. Right, they're going to tap and go here. So defense so far from Ireland. Doing it fast, you can't get the ground ball down. And it's been held up. It's been held up. Turnover ball. Well, I mean, that's it. That's the game. They had scored there. There was a very, very slim chance. But it will be a goal line dropout. And that is got to be the game, really. Oh, I about to say All Blacks have actually got a penalty here. So the Irish defending is not quite done yet. But they basically need 2 tries and a penalty within less than 6 minutes. So I only need to defend for another 2 minutes, and I mean, it's a really good effort there. Josh van der Fleer has been tremendous again once today. That's Kieran Treadwell on the park as well. Aiden Ross, it's a solid carry from him as they're very, very short. Fakatava snipes on debut. Can he get grounding? No. Vitalik goes himself, but can't get his hands down. Tremendous defending so far here from Ireland. Yoko Paper's busy pulling people apart, trying to see if there's grounding. Peter O'Mahony's having words to say with Sam Kane. Yeah, I mean, quite a lot to say there's Peter O'Mahony. You're going to have a look at this again. I don't think you're going to find any evidence that there is grounding once again. There, the ball's still up, the ball's still up, the ball's still up, the ball's still up. There's now hands coming underneath it. There's no grounding here. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any evidence once again that there is grounding here. So I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a try. I think it's going to be held up. I'm going to have a goal line dropout here. Yeah, goal line dropout has been called. Right. Erman looks saying, John Kerwin saying we don't need SSIs. Well, Top Notch said New Zealand going to drop 4th in the rankings for the first time. That's an interesting point. What did Rassi say about the Sir? How was Scott Robertson overlooked for this job? Yeah, I think he surely has to be the next All Black coach. As Joey Carberry gets ready to get us back underway. And he just hacks it forward. That's a huge goal line dropout up towards the halfway line. Now Jordy Barrett puts his head down, needs to try and create something here, runs into 2 rather large forwards. And Keelan Healy and Rob Herring. Richie Mwanga is wrapped up by Josh van der Fleer. Fakatava looking at his option side to go right. Ball's popped out, and it's been hit back, and Ty Burners there to clean up. Back to Carberry, whose kick is charged down. Oh! Well, it's almost really good appreciation from the Lords there. There have been a couple of knock-ons here, though. Yeah, there was a knock-on there by 19. It was almost, I said, it was almost brilliant appreciation for the Lords, because the charge down, which means that everybody was on side. And I'm trying to work out who it was that tried to then catch it. It was Caden Doris. Why is Caden Doris on? Who's off? Is Amani off? I don't see Jack Conan having said that. Yeah, I thought no, there is Jack Conan. So it could have been an injury here that Caden Doris is back on the park. I said I don't see Omani. Yeah, so it looks like Omani's off and Caden Doris is back on. There will be a scrum at the halfway line. Mark Sonny says, can't wait to rub this in the Kiwis' face. Mr. Bar says, COVID have literally changed the dynamics of World Rugby New Zealand, not so super anymore. Tim Talbot says, there goes my Super Brew. Herman Looks says, there goes my Betway ticket. Yeah, I think a lot of people are. If anybody bet on Ireland, though, fair play. Fakatava going to the left-hand side to Mwanga. Goes to Quinn Tupiai. Rico Awani. Matt Hans trying to get his hands on the ball, but Fakatava, can you use it? This is really good work here from New Zealand. And my feed's gone. Severis. Richie Mwanga, long pass out towards Jody Barrett. Jody Barrett gets away from Carberry, brings in James Lowe, and Will Jordan in the corner. They'll finally get the reward. They'll finally get the reward. With 3 minutes to go, New Zealand are over. It was kind of a matter of time with the way that sort of phase play was going. They just stuck to a couple of players, and Will Jordan does what Will Jordan does, isn't he? 18 career tries. He's in the corner here. It was just such a big overlap. Joey Carberry comes up the line, and he has to make this tackle on Jordy Barrett. As soon as he doesn't, then James Lowe's got a 2-on-1. And look, you probably find James Lowe should actually needs to go for Will Jordan. And try and back the covering defense to try and get across to make the tackle on Jordy Barrett. Jordy Barrett from the touchline is creeping left. He does slide. It does slide. So 12 points, 23 is where it will remain. Right, so still an 11-point deficit with 1.5 minutes to go. So this game's done. And Ireland are going to take all the time in the world. Let's go. Carberry lifts it high in the air. And James Lowe is chasing hard. He'll savour this victory. And he decides to gift the All Blacks a penalty by going off his feet and taking out Metallic. It was really stupid. Fakatava takes it quickly. Looking for somewhere for a ball carry. Finds it in Sam Kane. The All Blacks are going to have to go the length of the field as we enter the final minute. What a historic victory this is for Ireland. And as I said, somebody the other day, quite a big... Well, Ireland turn it over, so maybe Ireland will have the final say here. Jack Conan carrying strong. Yeah, Ireland are not slowing here. 15 seconds to go. Well, I mean, the handling is just so slick. Now Conor Murray on a bit of snipe. Now Josh van der Fleer. 4 seconds left. They just need one more phase. Rob Herring goes into contact, and Hugh Keenan. I'm sure somebody's going to grab this and kick this out. And they have done it. It goes back to Joe Carberry. And look what it means to them. Ireland have gone to New Zealand. They let it slip in the first game. They have not let it slip tonight. Ireland 23, New Zealand 12. What an absolute iconic victory. Ty Burn take a bow. What a performance from him. Dismal though from the All Blacks. Absolutely dismal, really. If we're being completely honest. Discipline was shocking. Weren't particularly potent in the attack. And Ireland almost gave them a chance in the first half with how inaccurate they were in taking the opportunities that they had. I mean, they had so much possession, they had so much field position, but just couldn't really take their opportunities. And second half looked a lot better. And a lot of the big names standing up for Ireland today. I thought Ty Burn was fantastic. Peter O'Mahony was fantastic. Johnny Sexton's going to get interviewed now. He was a different class. Andrew Porter with the double, with the brace. Yeah, so so he's a lot of people. Thank you very much for a fantastic watch along. We'll be live again in about 35 minutes. We've got England versus Australia. It should be quite a pretty good clash as well. The first home nation so far to win a match during this period of rugby is Ireland. So we'll see if England can follow suit as they try and beat Australia after they couldn't beat a 14-man Australia last weekend. People, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. And we'll see you guys in a little bit for England versus Australia before we then start our build-up for the Bok game. Thank you very much, and I'll chat to you guys next time.